Hello, and welcome to the Killer Cuties podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Cassidy, and I've seen almost every horror movie out there.
And I'm KD, and I've seen almost none of them.
So join us each week as I attempt to make a horror fan out of Katie.
As a warning, we will be discussing spoilers and some uncomfortable topics that may be in the plots, so feel free to check out the film on doesthedogdie.com first to check for any triggers before listening.
Today, we're going to be talking about the Netflix limited series Midnight Mass. Let's get spooky.
Okay, should I kick us off with a summary?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so this story centers around a small island town where the priest of their church left on a pilgrimage to the Holy Land, and a new man named Father Paul comes in to take over. Strange things start happening on the island. A bunch of cats die. A girl who was paralyzed from the waist down regains the ability to walk. People's ailments start disappearing, and the old start turning young again. So we learn that Father Paul actually is the old priest. He's just de-aged. While on his pilgrimage, he got lost and was attacked by a vampire whom he believes was an angel, who then let him drink its blood, which is how he de-aged. He then brought the vampires back with him and has been feeding the blood to the townspeople in the communion wine. The town doctor and a few other residents realize something bad is happening and try to leave, but the devout cut off any way to leave the island. At Easter Mass, that was the midnight Mass, right? The priest shows the angel to everyone and encourages them to drink poison to be reborn. Very Jonestown, honestly. I'm pretending like I know what that means. Several drink, a few don't. I didn't write this. Those who do come back as vampires and start attacking those who didn't. The vampire townspeople start burning down all the buildings except the church, but the rebels end up burning that down too. So the vampires don't have anywhere to go to hide from the sunlight, which kills them. Two kids are the only survivors of the entire island, as everyone left alive is a full vampire and they die when the sun rises. One of the survivors is the girl who was paralyzed, and as they watch the island burn, she says that she can't feel her leg, or she can no longer feel her legs. And those are the last words of the entire show: "Is I can't feel my legs."
Yeah.
Yeah.
For context, Jonestown was.
Thank you.
I realized that I wrote the summary, so Katie didn't. But I thought I don't know.
You
Sometimes
just
I
gotta
think
glaze over that.
like macabre shit like everybody knows about, but apparently it's just me. Um, Jonestown was a a cult mass suicide. So they drank
Oh, is that the
cyanide.
Kool-Aid one? Yeah,
Yes,
drink the
that's where
Kool-Aid.
Drink the
Okay,
Kool-Aid comes from. They drank cyanide in a mass suicide. So
got it.
that was why I referenced Jonestown, because that is
Okay,
basically what happens, except they're all reborn into vampires, and that did not happen in Jonestown, obviously.
too
Um,
bad.
yeah, honestly, that's a whole nother podcast. But yeah,
I
yeah.
remember I remember you putting this one, or I thought, maybe I'm wrong, this one under supernatural. So I was
Mhm.
honestly surprised to see vampires, unless vampires are considered supernatural.
I can't remember. Yeah, I guess I don't remember where I put it. No, it was in the limited series, so it wasn't categorized.
Okay,
It
okay,
was
okay.
just
I don't know
under
where I got that
horror.
from. Got it, got it,
Um,
got it.
yeah, I would probably put a vampire under like fantasy or creature feature.
Yeah. This
But
one is probably more creature feature than other kinds of vampires.
yeah, for sure.
It's no Twilight.
It is not Twilight, that is for sure.
9 out of 10 vampires I'm attracted to. These I can't say I was.
Yeah. They really said sexiest monster out there? Nah, not today.
Not anymore.
But I really like the idea of it. I think it's a super unique take on vampires. Like there's
For sure.
obviously been a lot of like religious connections with vampire lore, but it's always used in defense of them, not a tool that they use to like infect people or kill
Yeah.
people. So I thought
Mhm.
that was kind of brilliant actually. And I wonder how long it took them to go through and like find passages in the Bible that would justify someone turning into a vampire, because they
Oh my
found a
gosh.
lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And Bev had all of them memorized.
Yeah.
Oh, Bev.
Are we talking about Bev? Is that is that what this is going?
Yeah, can
Because
we start there? Because
fuck
honestly, the
Bev.
scene of her face being burned off was my favorite thing about the entire show.
Yeah. Bev is the absolute worst human being. Like,
Oh my god.
I oh my god.
She she gave the dog the hot dog, right?
I mean, yes.
Yeah,
I think
thank you.
it's
Okay,
safe to say yes. I
okay.
think that's alluded to. I think her confrontation with the sheriff is just kind of a giveaway. Like, I think it's clear that she did it, even if they don't outright say it.
Yeah, and honestly, kudos to the sheriff for not punching her in the fucking face. I would have just decked her
Oh, yeah.
during the scene where she's standing in front of the poison and she's like, "What do you mean?"
Mhm.
You know what I fucking mean, I'll kill you.
I think there's a lot of times I would have physically fought Beth.
Right? Oh my god.
Yeah. But, like, the dog dying trope is, like, super prevalent in horror, but this one is, like, it's rough. It was
Yeah.
so sad.
Yeah, that was a really sad scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. There's a lot of, like, I kinda forgot that there were some, like,
some sadder scenes.
yeah. Oh, like
Yeah.
when, Lisa's the girl who was paralyzed from the waist down. She confronts Joe Colley, who is the man who shot her and did that to her, and she, like, confronts him. Oh my god, that whole scene. Like,
Yeah.
the actors were so good, and it was so well done.
Him
It was
crying is what got me. Like, just the like, his reaction to her.
mhm.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
So heartbreaking.
Yeah, because you could tell, like, he's been punishing himself for that,
Mhm.
but I don't know, I like that a lot of the characters have done, like, these horrible things, but also
Mhm.
have somewhat redeemable moments where it's like, they're humans, and it's not all black and
Yeah.
white. Except Bev, fuck Bev, she's the
Yep.
fucking
Fuck her.
worst. I was trying to think of characters, period, in movies that, like, I hate more than her, and I was like, I couldn't really think of any.
Not even one? She's really awful.
She's just the worst.
Yeah.
I don't know,
So
can you
bad.
think of any?
Does anybody else kill a dog like that?
I mean, like, yes, but they don't pretend to be good about it, you know?
Oh, I cannot think of another character that I hate more than Bev Keane. Bev
Yeah,
Keane? Is that her name?
Bev
Keane?
Keane, yeah. She just yeah. It's always, like, the lawful evil ones that are the worst.
Right? Yeah.
The ones who, like, pretend that they're not bad people.
Yeah,
Like,
like
that's
righteous
worse.
people, like
Yes.
righteous and pretentious and but
It's so much worse to me when they're, like, pretending that they're a good person or when they because I think Bev thought she was a good person, and, like, that's so much worse to me than people who are just, like, outright
Mhm.
evil in obviously TV shows and stuff like that, but, like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck, yeah. Just be upfront about it. I
And the
don't
fact
know.
that she was, like, in with the, like, children, a part of the school was she a teacher?
I don't know if she was a teacher. I don't know because
She's
she
just
was
part
in
of all those
homeroom.
meetings. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But either way, like, she had stuff to say about, like, how people were teaching the kids of the island, and
Mhm.
no, thank you. And she was the one who was defending, like, reading passages of the Bible without telling the parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, she was very much, just a dick.
Yep. Um, by the end okay, so 2 things. 1,
Mhm.
the scene of Aaron screaming. Any scene of Aaron screaming, she's a great screamer. Amazing screamer. Which is a really weird thing to say, but, you know, we're
Mhm.
dissecting horror movies, so
Sometimes you gotta say it.
yeah, the second thing is, didn't Riley not take communion at all while he was on the island? Wasn't that the whole point?
Yes.
So how did he turn into a vampire? Oh, because he got bit by
Same
the vampire.
well, yeah, in same way that Monsignor Pruitt did, where the vampire attacked him and then they drank from the blood. So they,
That's
like,
right,
fed
that's
him
right,
blood, I think, when he was
that's right,
yeah, yeah. But there were a
that's right.
couple things that I was like, "This doesn't." I guess the
Mhm.
main thing is, like, Monsignor Pruitt was attacked by the vampire, drank a little bit of its blood, woke up the next day, what, like 60 years younger? Like 50
Yeah,
years younger? Why didn't that happen to the old, like, especially like the old woman on the island who was the same age as him?
yeah.
She had some blood and it took her weeks. And I
Well,
guess you could
probably
say it
like a
was
quantity
diluted.
thing.
Yeah, like it was
Yeah.
diluted by the wine, but it didn't seem like he drank that much in the cave. So, like, I
Yeah,
don't know, I still don't see it taking that long. It'd have to be really diluted.
and then on the other hand, it only
No.
took, what, a couple weeks for Lisa to be able to walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I
There's a little
don't
bit of
know.
plot hole there.
I guess I shouldn't be like, "Oh, that's not realistic," when it's like a vampire thing, like, it's
Yeah, yeah. We do that a lot.
but, yeah, that was the only thing that, like, and the old age makeup, that I'm so glad you messaged me about that because I hated that. I
Yeah,
the
it was not good.
second that I saw it, I noticed it, and
Yeah.
yeah, like you said, it's just something's gonna happen. You know they're gonna de-age
Mhm.
because they're young people in old age makeup.
Yep. I almost feel like it would have been better had they cast somebody elderly and somebody young and did kind of one of those things where they did when the elderly lady that de-ages and Monsignor Pruitt like recognize each other finally. And that's how you find out that, oh, this is the same person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As opposed to like weaning off the makeup a little bit.
Yeah.
Because to your point, like you could tell that that was aging makeup, and you're like, okay, well, they're gonna de-age.
Right, like, you know that they're gonna turn young. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think it's funny, like, because this was my second time watching it, and, like, when you rewatch it, like, the first couple episodes before they reveal that, like, Father John Paul is Monsignor Pruitt,
Mhm.
like, it's so odd. They just say it. They outright say it multiple times in the first few episodes, so, like, rewatching it, I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
it's so obvious," but, like, the first time you watch it, it's subtle enough that you, like, don't realize that they're just
yeah.
saying it.
I didn't realize it. I definitely did not realize it
Yeah, no, the
in the
first time
first
I
few
watched
episodes.
it, I didn't I was like, "This guy's sus as fuck," right? And then
Yeah.
that reveal happened, and I was like, "Oh, interesting, okay." But, like, the second
Mhm.
time watching it, like, she calls him, Father John, like, she, like, recognizes him because
Mhm.
she knew him when she was young, and, like, there's so many times that he's like, "Oh, yeah, well, Monsignor Pruitt told me all this, this, and this," and it's like, "How did you have that long of a conver," like, he knows everything that he knows, and, like, yeah,
Yeah.
there were just, like, a few little moments like that where I was like, "Oh, shit, they really just told us multiple times, and I didn't realize
Yeah.
it."
Yeah. That I think, this scene that they, like, outright said it, like,
Mhm.
that was supposed to be the reveal. Between that and, Riley being alive, those were honestly the 2 biggest shocks for me. Riley being
Mm.
alive after the vampire
Yeah,
attacked him in the community center or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, those are the 2 big ones for me.
I think with the first time I watched it, I wasn't shocked that Riley was still alive. I was more shocked that he, like, kills himself.
On the boat?
Yeah, by the way, like, we always mention trigger warnings, but this has a lot of suicide in it, so let's
So
just
much.
if that is something that bothers you, please stop here, but yeah, he, like, on the boat, he, like, takes her out and just, like, waits for the sun to rise. Like, that part was kind of like I was
Mhm.
like, "What the fuck? Like, this is, like, one of the main characters, and we still got, like, 2 episodes left, like, what do you
Yeah.
mean?"
Yeah.
So I was kind of shocked that his character just, like, was gone when he was such a
Yeah.
major part of it before.
Mhm. Um, Everybody that I've talked to that has watched this show, I have told them, "Midnight Mass? You mean monologue mass?" because literally everything out of Riley's mouth was a fucking monologue.
Everything out of everyone's mouth was
Everyone's
a
mouth.
monologue.
Why? Why? It could have been a movie, and it could have
It
been a really good movie.
I think I'm fine with it being a 7-part TV show. I think they should have been half-hour episodes. I
Yep.
agree with you. I think uh, my god, there are so many. Like,
Yeah.
and they're well written and the actors do a great job, but it doesn't matter because it's just so
Yeah.
many of them that it's exhausting.
Yeah,
Like,
it really is. I got to the point where I had on Netflix 1.5 speed during the monologues. I was like, "All right,
mm,
let's get it going," because I know they're just gonna say the same thing 5 times, so
yeah, I
yeah.
definitely like tuned out a lot of it.
Mhm.
It's just so much talking. And at that
Yeah.
point, it's just like I tune out and it just doesn't feel like realistic or natural anymore. No one talks for
No.
there's like an over 5-minute monologue that Erin does at the end when
Yeah.
she's laying there. Like it's so
But
long.
if it was just that one, if
It
it
would have
was
been
the
fine.
only like, huge monologue in the whole show, yeah, it would've been great, like, it kinda, like, calmed down the movie, like, it toned it all
Mhm.
down and, like, kinda talked us out, but that was, like, her 6th one.
So many.
Yeah. Too
So
many.
many.
Too
So
many.
many.
What's the other show that's, like, the same writer or something that Netflix did that's, like, similar vibes?
He's done a few now. He did The Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor, and The Midnight Club.
Are any of those like that, where it's just all like, is that a him thing, or
I
is it
don't
just a show?
remember it being this bad.
Okay, okay, that's fair. Because we have a
Um,
couple of those, or at least
so
one of those on the list.
yes, to be fair, I have only seen Haunting of Hill House. I haven't watched Bly Manor or Midnight Club yet.
Oh, okay.
Um, so yeah, but Hill House, I don't remember there being it being this heavily monologued.
Okay. Alright. I don't know if I can sit through that many monologues again.
Yeah, no. I mean, I won't give away too much, but I do like Hill House much better than this one.
Okay, okay,
I
alright.
love Hill House.
Good
Not
to
that
know.
I like Midnight Mass, I do. It's just could have been half-hour episodes. I'll say it.
Yeah, yeah,
It got a
agreed.
little tedious at times.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
well,
but yeah, there's actually so he's also Mike Flanagan has also done movies. Um, and 2 of those movies actually reference Midnight Mass that came out before it. So, like, you it's he's something he's
oh.
been working on for years.
What do you mean, like, how?
So Gerald's Game is one of them, which is an adaptation of a Stephen King novel. It is on our list.
Okay. Oh, nice.
But in that one, there's like a scene where the character like throws a book, and the book is titled Midnight Mass. Um, and
Oh.
then in the other one, called Hush, which is Erin. So Erin, Kate Siegel, I believe
Yeah.
is her name. She is Mike Flanagan's wife. So she's in a lot of his work. So she's the main
But it's not
character.
Erin, it's just
No, no,
the
no, no.
actress.
So it's the actress playing a different
Got
character
it.
in the movie Hush. And that movie is about she's a writer, and
Mhm.
the book she's writing is Midnight Mass, and it references the characters too. It references Riley, it references Aaron,
What?
it
Oh.
references like the scene where the angel gets his like wings cut. Like so, there's like a lot. Like it's been being worked on for years.
Wow. That's
But yeah,
cool.
I know I
I
like that
love
a
that.
lot. I think it's very. I don't know. I'm a big fan of that.
No, that's fun. I like that a lot. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and then in this one, Riley has in his room he has some books by Christopher Pike, which is where the Midnight Club comes from. It's based on one of Christopher Pike's books. So there's a reference to his next project in this
Oh,
one.
nice.
I know. I'm like, ooh, little hinty McGee over there.
Yeah. The only other, like, production company or the only time I've ever heard that is Disney.
Yeah,
They do
Disney
that
does
too.
do that a lot.
Especially in Pixar movies.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Also, this is, like, maybe the dumbest thing I'm ever gonna say on here. Well,
Cool.
let's not do that because we know I'm gonna say dumber stuff, but
I'm excited for
the
it though.
the amount of times that they said "father" in this, my brain just kept going, "Father, help!" Like,
Oh
the
my
whole
god.
time. Every
One of my
time.
favorite TikToks is a fish jumping out of its tank and it goes off screen and then all you hear is "Father help."
I've seen that one. Oh god, every time. "Father," I was just, "Father, help." Every time.
What's that even from?
I have
Just
no
TikTok?
idea. I think it's just TikTok, yeah.
Okay, I love that. I love that. That's so fucking funny. Oh.
Um, but yeah, I also I think, like back to the actual plot, but, like, I think, like I don't know about you, but I feel like the doctor was the most confusing character. Like, why like, she's trying to justify everything, but, like, you see a girl regain the use of her legs with no prior sign of being able to do that. A
Mhm.
fetus disappears overnight.
Mhm.
Blood starts setting ablaze in the light, and your mom goes from like 90 to 20.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you just don't think to like tell anyone or leave or do anything at all. Like she's just like, "Oh, this is weird." What?
Yeah. And she wasn't one of the more religious ones.
No, she didn't go to mass. She was not like religious.
Yeah. Had she been, it would have made more sense that she was kind of more cavalier about it, but
Yeah, like but you could tell she was not religious. Well, cuz she mentioned she doesn't go to church. She doesn't cuz
yeah.
she's a lesbian, I think. Maybe
Yeah.
bi. I don't she's interested in women. She's dating a
Yeah,
woman, so
there was a
that's
yeah, she's dating a woman.
yes. So like that's why she kind of stopped going. So you knew
Yeah,
that
and
she
then
wasn't
she took the mom was the only time I think she ever went to the church, was when she took the mom the first time that the mom was, like, able to
mhm.
walk
Yeah.
enough to get into the church.
Yeah. And I don't think it
Yeah.
shows communion, but I doubt she would take it. They seem
Did
very,
she
very particular about who takes communion and who does not in
Yeah.
that show, which I know
Oh
is
my
a
god.
very Catholic thing, but
That is a Catholic thing, though. I went to a
Mhm.
Catholic wedding once, and I tried to take communion just because, like, I'm Christian, I took communion as a kid, like,
No, no, no.
um, and I went like this to take it, and he's like,
You don't know what you're doing, do you?
"Are you Catholic?" And I'm like, "No," and he's like, "May I bless you instead?" I was so embarrassed. I've never been more embarrassed in my life.
I'm so sorry that happened to you.
It's
I
okay.
was raised Catholic, so yes, there is a proper way to take communion,
Yeah, no, I literally went to take it, and he's
but
like,
I would not be able to take it now. I was never confirmed, so I am
uh,
technically
uh,
not allowed to take the communion.
yeah, I like the pomp and circumstance. I like the, like, you know, I like the pomp you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying.
No.
Oh, okay, well.
We got kicked out of the Catholic Church, so
No.
no, it's we were firmly yet politely told to find somewhere else.
Oh my god.
They don't believe in divorce over there, so
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
That'll do it. Meanwhile, the most publicly facing Catholic family in the entire world has a divorce.
Yeah, I think, people should be allowed to get divorces. That's just me. But you know what? I kinda realized I wasn't religious when I was about 8 years old, so it was fine by me that we stopped
Early
going.
on. Oh gosh.
Um, but yeah. Also, I don't understand why they couldn't find a better way to, like, do the Sudoku in the end, like, sorry, the suicide. I just didn't wanna keep saying suicide. Like,
Those arguably
poison?
worse.
Poison? That sounds it looked so painful.
Wait, did I miss something?
Did you miss something? What did
I
you
thought they all just waited for the sun to rise.
No, 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 like, when they're fully transforming into the vampires, and he makes them drink. The Jonestown, when they're drinking the poison and then they die and then they're reborn. It's literally the whole second to last episode at the Easter Mass. They drink the poison and they vomit everywhere and then they die and then they're reborn. Did you not watch the end of the thing?
I miss an episode?
I think. Did you just miss? No.
The vomit nobody vomited. I
They
didn't see
were
any
like
vomiting.
spewing because of the
Nope.
poison. You skipped an episode.
How is that even possible?
I don't know. How did you not notice when they're in the church and it's all bloody? What?
I saw them all go after each other.
Yes, after they come back from being vampires.
I didn't see anybody vomit.
You
And we've
don't
talked
remember
about
them
that
all
already.
drinking the poison.
Was it rat poison?
Yes.
Cusco's poison.
Poison for Cusco. Oh my god, you didn't even watch it all. That was like a major, it was the whole thing. They're drinking from the little cups. The sheriff's kid drinks it. He tries to shoot.
For some reason, I thought that was the I don't even remember them drinking it. I don't remember this at all.
There were
I
children drinking it. You don't remember the
no,
sheriff's son taking the drink.
nope, I ruined the whole podcast. I literally have no idea. I don't remember this at all.
What did you think happened between uh,
I don't know.
So-
I just remember them turning into vampires and attacking each other, and the little girl was dead on the floor.
yes, because she
I
drank the
remember that.
poison.
I thought that one of them turned into a vampire, and then I don't know. I clearly missed a big piece.
And you
And you wanna know
really
something
did.
really stupid? Is that I'm looking at the summary that I just read, and it even says, "Encourages them to drink poison." I read that out loud, and it did not
And then
faze
we
me at
talked
all.
about Jonestown, which is the cyanide thing. And you
But
seemed like you knew what I
but
was
they're all
talking about.
drinking I know what Jonestown is now, but they were all drinking the blood this whole time. That's what I thought we were referring to.
Okay. All right. Well, spoiler alert for you. I don't know how you missed an entire episode.
I don't know, maybe I slept, and
Um,
I didn't go back far enough or something?
maybe.
I don't know.
It's like it's a whole big scene where they're drinking and the sheriff's shooting and he says, "Get away from my son," because he doesn't want his
Um,
son to drink, but his son drinks. You missed all
oh,
that?
no. All of it.
Oh my god.
Did the son take communion ever?
Yeah, because he started going, remember?
I knew he started going, but did they just let him take communion?
I don't know. I guess they
They must
must have,
have.
because
Yeah, he must have at some point.
that might be another little plot hole.
Unless
Because
they
technically
did the
he
same
shouldn't
thing.
have been able to, and they seemed very adamant about. Although technically, the old woman Mildred should
Mhm.
not have been taking communion either,
Why not?
unless she. Okay, so
He was. He was giving it to her.
yes, so because she committed a sin by we find out at the end that Erin is actually
His g
Monsignor
Monsignor
Pruitt's
Pruitt.
and Mildred's daughter. So
Yeah.
that's a sin because it was out of wedlock, right?
Right.
And he
So she
cannot
committed it.
she unless she went to confession on the mainland and got absolved of that, she would not be able to take confession because he can't absolve her of that sin because he was a part of it.
Can he be absolved of the sin?
I think so. Priests kind of just get a pass, right?
Ugh.
But yeah, so priests are not allowed to absolve you of a sin if it's a sexual sin that they were like involved in. They can't absolve you of that.
Okay, that makes
So
sense.
technically, unless she had gone and absolved herself elsewhere, she would
Which she
not
very well might have.
supposed to have taken communion, and he would have known that too. But
Okay.
they seemed like they were keeping it hush hush, and obviously morals were
Yeah.
a little shaky in this whole thing. So
Yeah.
he might have just said, "Fuck it, I'm giving
Oh,
her a
well.
pass."
Yeah. Well,
But yeah. Also, another dumb story. I was watching this. I think it's episode 6, which I don't know if you've seen, but
I've seen most of the show for sure.
I think 6 was the episode that the thing happened, that whole scene happened in, though.
Oh my god.
But, like, Aaron is telling the doctor about how Riley just, like, fucking imploded, and the
And then she shows
doctor's
her the blood or whatever.
yes, and it, like, sets on fire, and in the scene, the fire alarm starts going off, but my dumbass was making pizza rolls, and I thought it was happening in the way I, like,
It was
shot up
loud.
and was like, "Oh god," like, my pizza rolls are on
Oh my god. It was a lot louder,
fire.
honestly, like,
It was.
sound editing wise, like, it was a lot louder than the rest of the show.
Thank you, okay, I feel better
Yeah,
about that now.
no. 'Cause I remember watching that one from my phone and it just being like, "Hello?"
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yep, yep, yep.
Um, one of the things that I thought was really interesting, though, is, like so at the end, Riley, who's the one that, like, implodes or whatever, his parents, Annie and Ed, are Ed gets turned because he's trying to, like, get them to safety, and they all kind of attack him, and then Annie also sacrifices herself so that the others can get away,
Lots of
and
sacrifice.
lots of sacrifice. But obviously, they've been drinking communion, they both turn into vampires anyway, so they
Mhm.
are alive as vampires, and, like, Annie finds Ed, and she's, like, so scared, she's like, "I'm gonna turn into this monster who can't resist and just, like, eats people," and Ed's like, "No, like, I haven't done it, like, I want to, I can feel it inside me, but, like, it doesn't change who you are,
Mhm.
you can fight it," and I was like, "Damn."
Yeah. I'm about to tell a joke that you're not gonna understand, but they're the
Oh,
Cullens.
I do understand that reference,
Oh,
actually,
good.
because
Okay,
the
good.
Cullens only eat animals, right?
Yeah.
Nailed it.
They're
Oh
like
my god. I'm
vegetarians.
so good at Twilight lore.
It's because despite you never seeing Twilight, we still send you Twilight TikToks
I get
constantly.
Twilight TikToks constant. Also, just, like, being on the internet, like, you
Yeah.
can't avoid it. Like, I think I know the whole plot.
Yeah. Well,
Although
good.
sometimes I think I know the whole plot, and then I say it to someone who's seen it, and they're like, "No, babe, no."
See, I thought I knew the whole plot of this show, and I literally just watched it, and
Well, you
apparently I
thought
don't.
that because you watched it, I
Yeah.
guess.
Maybe. Did I even? No, I definitely did.
Oh.
It
But
was
yeah,
Mr.
that's so
Vomiting.
fucked up, like, those people could have resisted, and they just didn't.
Didn't.
Yikes.
Well,
Yeah,
oops.
I know.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact, the man who plays the sheriff and his
Love him.
son, Ali, are both played by actors named Rahul.
Oh, interesting.
I think that's so
That's
much
cute.
fun. I know, like, you find the
Yeah.
perfect people to play father and son, and they have the same name.
They're the same name. So cute. Yeah.
I know, I liked
Yeah.
that a lot when I was, like, looking at the cast list. I was like, "Oh, fun."
All right. How sexy was this movie?
Mm, 1.5. I think the sheriff's
I think
kinda hot.
Sheriff's hot. You're not
Yeah,
wrong.
I would, yeah, he could get it.
Mm, Riley could get it a little bit.
Okay. He's not for me, but I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it makes sense to me.
I was gonna say like 1.5,
1.5?
just because
Okay.
I thought 1 was the lowest,
It is, yes. This is a
but
little
you
bit
gave it a point
sexy.
0.5.
Oh, sorry, a 1.5 I meant. I meant, like,
Oh, okay.
1, and then I was like, "Oh, 0.5," like, to add
Point
it
0.5
on.
because the
Yes.
sheriff.
Yeah, like, the sheriff
Got it.
gives it, like, a little bit of sex appeal for me because the whole time I was kinda like,
Yeah.
"How you doing?"
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'd say 1.5 also. Just
Yeah.
a tiny bit, just because like, some of the actors were
Yeah,
good
yeah,
looking.
yeah. Yeah. Like we said, though, they really said no to sexy vampires.
Yeah.
Not today. Not today, Satan.
Yeah, if there was, like, less cracking when the neck thing was happening,
Mm.
might have been a 2,
Yeah, you don't like the cracking of the bones.
but no, I sure don't.
Did you think it was scary? Oh my god, I just, like, burped during that. Take 2.
Ew.
Did you think it was scary? I'm
Um,
leaving that in.
did I think it was scary? A little,
Okay. What'd you give it?
like a like a 2.5, maybe a 3, 2.5, 3.
Oh!
I this was the okay.
Uh-oh,
Full
I'm
disclosure.
recalibrating again.
No, but full disclosure, this was the first one I watched in the dark.
Okay, you need to start doing that because clearly it has
Yeah,
an effect. I gave
yeah.
I gave this a 1. But only because I think there's, like, moments of suspense, like, especially at the beginning when you're, like, you still don't really know what's happening, and there's, like, figures in the
Yeah,
lawns and shit like that, I was kinda like,
that freaked me out.
"Ooh, no." Okay, I'll give it, like,
Yes.
a 1.5 then, because those were a
Okay.
little bit like, "What the fuck is happening?" But
Yeah.
as soon as it's, like, vampires, I was like, "Eh, okay. I'm not this
Yeah.
is not scary to me anymore."
Yeah, the 2.5, I'll stick with my 2.5.
Okay.
Um, the, like the jump scares that were also like, "What the fuck?"
Yep.
It wasn't just a jump scare, it wasn't just a, like, try to freak you out, it was both at the same time. Like,
Mhm.
seeing I don't know if it was Monsignor Pruitt or the vampire on the little island
Mhm.
as it's eating the cats.
Yeah.
That was both of those things, and it freaked me out. And then when you see it in, um, Aaron's backyard,
Mhm.
those 2 scenes
That one I
really
think
got me.
there's one where, like, the sheriff sees him outside. Like, he's, like,
Yeah,
within his
yeah.
son's bedroom, and he, like, goes to, like, turn off the light, and he sees it. That part kinda got me
Mhm.
a I was like, "Oh, shit."
Yeah, yeah. So I watched the first probably 3 episodes all in one night.
Mhm.
Um, and I started it and was laying down, the sun was up. The light was on in the bedroom. Dylan comes in to say goodnight to me, and I'm like, "Hey, on your way out, can you turn off the light? Because it's kinda I want it to be spookier." He's like, "Sure." So he turned off the light, and then probably an hour later, I'm like, "Can you bring me a drink? And while you're at it, can you please turn back the light? It's too spooky in here." I could not get out of bed. I needed him to come and bring me a drink and turn on the light.
Oh my gosh, I love this. Please start watching everything at night. Clearly, it
Uh,
impacts you, so
yeah, it does. It does. It really does.
I like that.
But now it's all gonna be like skewed because I watched some
That's true.
during the daytime.
I know. I said it. I said long ago you should be watching them at night. We need
Ugh.
honest, visceral reactions, Katie.
Well, this one was still only a 2.5.
Okay,
Halfway scary.
fair, fair, fair.
Honestly, the scariest part of the whole thing is Bev and the fact that there are probably people like that out there.
Oh, there 100% are, yeah.
Mhm.
She was ugh, yeah. I hate
Yeah,
her.
she was something. She was something.
Yeah. What about fucked up? Did you think it was fucked up at all?
Yeah, I thought it was fucked up. I thought Bev was fucked up.
Alright, how fucked up?
Um, um, I didn't rate it yet, so I have to think about it. My gut's saying 3.5.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, that's a little high though, huh?
It's, well, I mean, it depends on, like, what stuff you find fucked up.
She kills a dog.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking about Bev. Honestly,
yeah,
I'm literally just thinking about Bev because she was the worst part of the whole show.
yeah. I gave it a 2.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, only for, like, Bev killing the dog, that was awful, and then,
Mhm.
obviously, like, the mass suicides and, like, there are a lot of children in that scene, so, like, that's pretty fucked up when there's just a bunch of kids there's, like you didn't see it because you didn't watch this part, but, like, when they're drinking the poison to, like, kill themselves and be reborn as, like, full vampires, there's, like, one part because it's kind of like chaos, right? Like, some people are drinking, some people aren't. Lisa's parents are drinking and trying to get her to
Mm.
drink, she doesn't want to, so, like, that's, like, a whole thing, and there's just, like it, like, shows briefly like a little kid just start drinking and his parents are like trying to like knock it out when they notice and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is so like
Yeah.
fuck." Like
Mhm.
yeah, so like I think that part I was kind of like, "Okay, this deserves like a little something something for fucked up cuz
Yeah.
oof.
Honestly,
Oof.
it primarily because of the religious stuff is why I gave it so high. It just
Okay.
like, all of it, just it's fucked. It's just fucked.
Yeah. I think it is interesting cuz I like I'm not religious. I did grow up Catholic, but like kind of not anymore. Um but like I do think it's interesting like I was trying to like look in to see if like people who are very religious thought that it was like offensive or like
Mhm.
anti-religious in any way and I kind of saw like mixed reviews. Like some people did feel that way and then some people were like no, like, it's about vampires, it's fine. Like, it wasn't really like there
Yeah.
are, bad people who are religious, so, like, Bev makes sense, like, there are some people
Mhm.
who just kind of hide behind it to, like, mask it, but it obviously doesn't mean that every religious person is a bad person, so,
Yeah.
yeah, I kinda got
And
mixed reviews.
Monsignor Pruitt at the end was like, "Wait a minute, like, this is fucked. What are we doing?"
Right, like, he was very
So
much like, "It was never about me, it was about God," and
mhm.
he definitely realizes that he fucked up
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Real big.
Yeah, it's a big boo-boo. I'm not gonna hold shows. But that's the thing about him is, like, his intentions, I think, were always good.
Yeah.
But, like, my thing is, buddy, pal, if you kill someone and you don't feel guilt and you're like, "Oh, wow, God absolved me of this." No, babe, you just there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not okay, there are times when, like okay, that's, like, a whole whole 'nother discussion, but, like, there are, like,
Yeah,
self-defense things,
we
like, he kills Joe Collie and there was no Joe Collie was just straight chilling, so, like, there was no reason for him to do it.
mhm.
Obviously, there are times with, like, self-defense and all that shit, but, like,
Yeah.
I'm talking about this situation, there was no reason he shouldn't have felt guilty about killing someone.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. Here's a question, kinda
Mhm.
random, but, both of the kids that survived
Yes.
took communion,
Mhm.
but as we know, Lisa at the end, um, has her she's paralyzed again.
Yes.
Are they gonna turn into vampires when they die?
I don't think so.
Why?
I think that okay, so this is my theory, right? So, I
Okay.
think her, uh, like, not feeling her legs again was our clue that the, like, main vampire did die, right? Because Aaron, like which I thought was, like, very fun because earlier Aaron talks about how, like, her abusive mother made her clip her pet bird's wings, and then
Yes.
she, at the end, clips
Yep.
the, "angel," quote, unquote's
Mhm.
wings. So I really loved that. I
Yeah, that was
fucking
great.
love when
Great
plots are
parallel.
yeah.
Did
Um,
she need to talk about the bird for 12 minutes in a row?
no.
No.
No, she didn't, but she did, so we're here now. But yeah, so he's, like, trying to fly west to get, like, away from the sunrise
Away
as
from the
it's coming
sun.
up, and they're like, "Oh, is it gonna make it to the mainland?" And it's kinda left unsure. I think that's our clue that it did die because, like, it was kind of all
Is
of a
that
sudden she
vampiric
couldn't
lore?
I mean, it could be in here, I don't know.
Okay,
But
yeah,
yeah,
that's
the
fair, that's
like,
fair.
that kind of, like the spell was broken, like, it was kinda, like, filtering out, but I also think, like, your blood would probably naturally filter it out as time goes on if you're not consuming it, and that's why they
That's
needed to
true.
die to be reborn as full vampires.
Makes sense. Okay. That's
But I don't
fair.
know. That's just my theory.
No, that makes sense.
But I also, like, who knows if they even make it to the mainland? Because they say in the end that the canoe probably won't make it to the mainland, it'll just get them off the island. So,
True.
I mean, hopefully when the sun rises, everybody wakes up and sees that the entire island is on fire and goes looking for them, but, like, who knows?
We would hope. Yeah, I guess we don't really have any indication how far away it is, but, like, you'd have to be
30
really
miles.
far and not be able to see smoke.
30 miles. That's how far it
Or
was.
oh, did they say?
Yeah, so when the
Oh,
vampire's
okay.
trying to fly, I think Lisa was like will it make it to the mainland? And he says 30 miles. I don't think so. It can barely fly.
Oh,
So
okay, okay,
I think that's the only time they say it.
okay.
That's a lot. I mean, the entire island was on fire, so I feel like they could see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine being like the person who has to go investigate. Like, what the fuck happened here?
Right? And like, there's no bodies,
Nope. Well, there's what, two?
maybe,
Well, there'd be a couple because the
because some
drug
of them
dealer dies
weren't
at the beginning. Yeah, there's some of them didn't ever take communion, so they just die. Aaron's body would still be there. The sheriff's body would still be there. Well,
right,
remains of their bodies would be there because they never turned. They never.
right. True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Overall, what'd you think?
uh, probably 2.5.
Okay.
The monologues killed me, honestly. The monologues killed me. They were trying too hard to be like, I don't know, like deep. It felt like, and it just didn't land with me.
Yeah.
But to your point, I love the interpretation of vampires.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
I also gave it a 2.5.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's fun. I think there's parts of it that are really well done. I think it's well acted, well directed. But
Yeah.
again, the monologues just got exhausting for me. It felt really
Hmm.
slow at times because of that. And just, I can't help but compare it to Hill House because it's also Mike Flanagan, and I just love Hill House much more than this. So I know he could
Yeah.
like do not better. It's just different. But yeah,
Mm,
it's just more my speed. So
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
I
All
get
right.
you.
It's the final question. Would you survive?
Not a lot of surviving
Hmm.
here. Um, no, I don't think so.
It's iffy for me because I think as soon as I think I would have left, which I know like that's kind of like a loop, but I don't think that that's a loophole because I'm saying I would be there, but I would leave
But
because
you're
that's
also
just
not religious.
making.
You wouldn't be taking communion.
I know, but I would have left the second that like they started teaching the Bible in schools and everybody was just chill with that. I'd be like, all right, it's time for me to
Yeah,
peace out. I gotta go somewhere else. Like, this is the
yeah,
only school on the island. Nuh-uh, not for me.
true.
So I think I would have left. And I don't think that's a loophole. That's just making smarter
No.
choices.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree. That's not a loophole. I agree.
So I think there's a
I
chance
want.
there's a hope for me.
No, I agree. I think you're living.
Thank
I agree.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Um,
you.
Me, on the other hand, I want nothing more than to find a little island, like a little fishing community to live in and, live my life, small community, everybody by first name. The houses aren't super great. Everybody has kind of the same, vibe of a house. Nobody's like better than anybody else because they have a cooler house or whatever. I don't know. I really like the vibe, so I probably would stay.
That we're very
Also,
different.
yeah, top secret, but I've always wanted to be Catholic, and I don't know if that is like,
Top secret
um,
says it on our podcast.
yeah, sorry, not so secret anymore. But no, I literally just said like I like the pomp and circumstance of it. I think that that's
Okay.
interesting, and there's like so much to learn and do, and not that I would ever become Catholic. I just think it's interesting.
I'm like, you can. They'd love
Well,
to
yeah,
have you.
I'm sure they would. But yeah, no. So I think I would be there, and I would turn into a vampire, and I would die in the sunrise.
Okay. Yeah, living in a small town where everybody knows everybody's name is not it's not for me, but
No?
no. I love going to the grocery store and not ever seeing the same people twice.
Oh, that's
It's my
true.
favorite thing about living in LA.
That is true.
I don't ever want to see people I know.
That's true. Is there Instacart on the island?
I'm gonna guess no. Also the prices, they have to import everything.
True. But they all own their houses and they don't pay a mortgage.
Yeah, but the oil company ruined the fishing, you know?
Ugh. Another reason to hate Bev for making them all take that settlement, which honestly, I probably would have taken the settlement.
I was taking the settlement and moved.
But yeah, no, I'm dead. I died, and
All
you're
right.
alive.
Wow. Rip
Yeah,
to you. I'm
we should
different.
we should start a tally.
We really should. Blair Witch Project. Well,
We live. You didn't go camping in the first place.
yeah, but I feel like is that a loophole?
Yeah, so if you did go camping, are you living?
Well, I think once you decide to go out there, you're just dead, right? Because
So
it
we
makes
both
you
died.
lost, and it's yeah. So we both died there.
Okay,
Ginger snaps. I lived for sure. I'm
lived.
minding my own business when a sexy werewolf woman starts wreaking havoc. That's great. Good for you.
Yep, we both lived that one, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah. Quiet Place, I think we both died, right?
Oh, I remember we fart.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I fart. So I'm dead.
Yep. Oops.
You fart and you're dead. All right.
Silent but deadly, except the opposite.
So this is the first time that we've differed on our answers.
Oh.
Interesting. All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna start a tally.
I'm dying more than you.
Just by one so far.
Okay, one though. All right, well, that wraps it up for today. If there are any movies you'd like to hear us talk about, please let us know in the comments or shoot us a DM on our socials.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week when we talk about the South Korean record breaking film Train to Busan. Bye!